Sexual harassment is defined as unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical harassment of sexual nature. These acts constitute sexual harassment when it affects the individual's work performance, creates an intimidating environment, hostile environment, or an offensive work environment. There are two types of harassment that the courts recognize. These include quid pro quo and hostile work environment. The following scene will depict one of these types.
Today was a long day, Blake. You did a great job keeping me on schedule.
No problem, doctor. All part of my job description.
Good, good. So, you've been here for about 30 days now, so I think we should do your performance review today. What do you think?
Sounds great.
You're a very good-looking man, Blake. What do you say we put off the review and go back to my place and see how well you perform?
Dr. Bernstein, this is very inappropriate.
Please call me Nina.
Doctor, this is very inappropriate. I do not feel comfortable joking around like this.
Who said I was joking around? This is a great place to work and I can make it better or worse for you, depending on how tonight goes.
I have a fiance, doctor. This is a very inappropriate conversation. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen.
Well, you're not married yet. Well, if that's how you feel. Oh, and by the way, the patient bathroom needs to be cleaned. It has urine all over it. I know it's not part of your job description, but we all have to take more responsibility here. Let me know if you decide to change your mind about my offer. How's it going in here?
Doctor!
Nina. I told you, just call me Nina.
That scene is an example of quid pro quo harassment. This form of harassment is when an employer or supervisor attempts to obtain sexual favors by an employee by making threats or promises. There are two things that one must prove in order to have a successful quid pro quo claim. The first is that the supervisor tried to elicit sexual favors that were unwelcomed by the harassed. The second is that he or she experienced some changed term of condition of employment following the act. These changes would include getting fired, failing to get a promotion that was well-deserved, significantly different responsibilities, or significant change in benefits. The next scene will be another form of sexual harassment.
Oops.
I'll get those for you, doctor.
Hey, sweet cheeks.
Doctor, that's very inappropriate.
Oh, you know you like it. All you men like it. Why do you guys love to play games?
Doctor, I have a fiance. I'm not comfortable with this conversation.
Well, you're not married yet.
Oh, that is disgusting, doctor. That's not funny.
I was not trying to be funny. Think about it.
What you just saw was a form of hostile work environment harassment. To prove this type of harassment occurred, one must show that the actions were severe enough to change the conditions of employment and created an abusive atmosphere. It is extremely important that the person speaks up. According to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, a person has 180 days to file a charge. The employee must report the incident to a supervisor or another supervisor if his or her direct supervisor is the harasser. Some other options would be to report the offense to an employee relations officer, an employee assistance program counselor, or the personnel office. If the individual is part of a union, he or she should contact the union representative. If there is no action being taken to resolve the issue, the harassed should follow charges at the EEOC office. It is important for every institution to have a sexual harassment policy. This policy should include several facts. The first is an explanation that states all employees are covered. This is because the harassment can come from anyone. Harassment does not just come from a supervisor. The second is a description of the management's responsibilities. It is the employer's responsibility to take immediate action to resolve and correct the situation. The third is to include detailed descriptions of the grievance policy. Both the employer and the harassed should pursue. Lastly, it should include a non-retaliation statement. This statement should encourage the harassed to come forward without the risk of being retaliated against. The best way to stop sexual harassment is to prevent it from ever happening.